Hello everyone, welcome back to this online class. Today we are going to look at how to find the area of this triangle where we know two sides and two angles. And the angles are expressed in terms of x. So for you to be able to find the area, we first need to know what is the size of that angle x. So to get x, we need to use sine rule. So we are going to say that 10 over sine x is equal to 20 over sine 3x. Remember sine rule, a over sine a is equals to b over sine b, which is equals to c over sine c for triangle ABC. So in this case, we need to know what is sine 3x in terms of x. So you can write but sine 3x. I'm going to use the trigonometric identity. So we write sine 3x. This is equals to the same as writing sine 2x plus x. And remember, sine A plus B is the same as sine A cos B plus cos A sine B. So that's the identity I'm using. So this can be written as sine 2x cos x, then plus cos 2x times sine x. But I need to know what is sine 2x in terms of x. Sine 2x is the same as 2 sine x cos x, that is 2x. Then remember there's another cos x. We are adding 2. We have cos 2x is the same as, this we write as cosine squared x minus sine squared x. Then we are multiplying by sine x. Let me write it. So that will multiply sine x. For those who don't know the identity, I can write them here. We can write a note. We are using these identities that sine A plus B is the same as, that is equals to sine A cos B plus cos A sine B. Another identity is that cos A plus B is the same as cos A cos B minus sine A sine B. So these are the identities that I'm using to be able to express sine 3x in terms of sine or sums or products of sine and cosine of x only. So going back to this expression, now you see in the first term we'll have 2 sine x times cosine squared x. Then the other term, there's a plus sine x. Outside we have cosine squared x minus sine squared x. And you see sine x is common. So this I can write as sine x outside. Inside we have 2 cos squared x plus another cos squared x minus sine squared x. And cos squared x, we have 2 plus 1, that will give us 3. So we'll have sine x multiplying 3 cos squared x minus sine squared x. But you know, sine squared x plus cos squared x should give us 1. So that means sine squared x is the same as 1 minus cos squared x. So I want to replace sine squared x. So this can be written as sine x into 3 cosine squared x, then minus 1 minus cos squared x. I have replaced sine squared x in terms of cos x. So when I open the bracket inside, the innermost bracket will have sine x, then this will be 3 cos squared x minus 1 plus another cos squared x. A negative times a negative gives us a positive. So I can now combine the 3 cos squared x and another cos squared x. That will give us 4 cos squared x. So that this is the same as sine x into 4 cos squared x minus 1. So this is the expression for sine 3x. You see, we have expressed that as sine, a product of sine x and cos x. So if I go back to my sine rule, the sine formula, so you can say therefore, let me write it here. You write therefore, we talked of 10 over sine x being equal to 20 over sine 3x. But sine 3x is the same as sine x in bracket 4 cos squared x minus 1. That's what we have found. And you see sine x is common, so this sine x will cancel with the other sine x, so that I have 10 is equals to 20 over 4 cos squared x minus 1. If I cross multiply, we will have, you can write or 4 cos squared x minus 1 is the same as 20 over 10, which is equals to 2. So, or 4 cos squared x minus 1 is equals to 2. Now, I want to make cos squared x the subject. So from here, we take 1 to the right, that will give us 3, and then we divide by 4. That is easy. So, or 4 cos squared x is equals to 2 plus 1, which we can say that 4 cos squared x is equals to 3. So we divide by 4 on both sides, so that on the left 4 will cancel, so that we have cos squared x cosine squared x is equals to 3 over 4. So what about cos x? Take the square root on both sides, you get cosine of x being equal to, that is root 3 over 2. The square root of 3 over 4, that is root 3 over 2. So remember, the x here must be an acute angle. Of course, you know square root is either positive or negative, but we leave the negative part because our angle must be an acute angle. So that's why we only take the positive part of that square root. So from this equation, we need to be able to find x. So to get x, you take cos inverse on both sides. So from here, x is equals to cos inverse of root 3 over 2. If you press this in your calculator, let us see what you're going to get. So we start by pressing the square root of 3 divided by 2, then the cos inverse of the answer. That will give us 30 degrees. You could also convert that to radian. So the x there is 30 degrees. So when you go back to your triangle, let me take you back to our triangle. Now that we know x, it means one angle is 30 another angle is 90, and you know the properties of angles in a triangle, that the sum of interior angles must add up to 180 degrees. So to get the missing angle from here, we'll take 180 minus the sum of the two angles. So this one, we have found this is 30, this is 30, because that is x. 3x is the same as 90. So 30 plus 90 is 120. So the angle here must be 180 minus 120, that is 60. Because we said, let's call it theta. Theta is the same as 180 minus 3x plus x. We are using the properties of angles in a triangle. And we know x is 30, so 3x, that is 90. 90 plus 30 is 120. 180 minus 120 gives us 60. That was the missing angle. So once you have that angle and the two sides given, it is now easy to get the area of that triangle. So we now say that therefore, the area is simply, it is always equals to 1 over 2 AB sine theta. We are using this formula where A are the two, A is one side given, another B is the another side given, then theta is the included angle. So this is the same as 1 over 2. Our A is 10, our B is 20 sine of 60 degrees. Now, how do we find sine 60 degrees? Let me take you. Here you can write a note. How to get sine 60? You will draw this kind of a triangle, like equilateral triangle where all sides are equal. Then I bisect it. That's 90. So that here, if I have 1, here it is 1, here it is 2, 2. Remember this equilateral. This angle is 60. This angle must be 30. The same to the other triangle. So I know the hypotenuse and I know the base to be 1. Hypotenuse is 2. Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse squared minus the base squared, that is 2 squared minus 1 squared, that will give us 3. So to get the height is the square root of 3. So this will be root 3. So from this triangle, sine 60 is the same as opposite. Opposite is root 3 over hypotenuse, which is 2. So that is what we'll write here. So that if I go back to my area, it is 1 over 2 times 10 times 20 times root 3 over 2. When I simplify, I'm going to get 200 root 3 everything over 4. 200 when you divide by 4, that will give us 50. 50 then times root 3. So that is the area of the given triangle. And you see, if you're not given the units, we write this as square units. So you see how this is very simple. Thank you all for watching. Ensure you subscribe to my channel, Professor Francis Okage. Also like, share, and comment on this video. When we meet next time, we look at other problems which are simpler or seems to be very difficult for some of you. Thank you all. Bye bye.